Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where you can come and get caught up on some of the latest news involving our Cleveland Browns and then get a 10-minute take along the way. Well, actually, it's more like I do a little bit of news, then I give you a take, do a little bit of news, then I give you a take. But it all works the same way. If you can, please, before we get started, like this episode, like all the episodes. And please subscribe to the channel. We are past 3,000 subscribers. I can't thank you all enough. Thank you so much for joining us on our little show. Speaking of that, here's what we're going to do today. Rookie minicamp. It's over. I'm going to tell you what we learned. Also, the rookie quarterback battle. Who has the lead now that minicamp is done? Also, in my opinion, there is one way for the Browns to exceed their expectations coming up here in 2025, turn this whole thing around, maybe get to the playoffs, who knows, maybe even get to the Super Bowl. There's one way they could exceed their expectations. I will let you know what I'm thinking. And then down in the viewer comments, we will address Shedeur Sanders and the New Orleans Saints. But first, let's start with rookie minicamp. Here are a couple of pictures from day 3, courtesy of the Cleveland Browns Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days. There they are. Shedeur Sanders dropping back. Dylan Gabriel about to let one go down the sideline. That's Trey Dean over there. Along with Mason Graham getting some work in. There he is, getting upfield. That's what they want him to do now. They want him up the field, getting after the quarterback. And then there's Bowling Green's own Harold Fannin Jr. with the completion out in space. So rookie minicamp is now over. We'll put it behind us. The next thing's next. You heard both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders talk about it in their press conferences, but Dylan Gabriel mentioned that they will get a chance to talk to the veteran quarterbacks this week. The vets are there. If you saw the Mother's Day video on X that the Browns put up, a lot of them there. DeJuan Jones, a lot of them are all they're all working out. So they get a chance to see these guys. We saw Martin Emerson greet Shedeur Sanders when he got there the other day. So the vets are there, and so they're mixing and mingling with the rookies. But it'll now start to ramp up the further we get into May. Some of the rookies, Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, they'll all be heading out to Los Angeles in the middle of the week for what is called the NFLPA Rookie Premier Event. And what they do with this is it's a chance for the NFL players who are new, all the rookies, to learn about business and networking opportunities, skill building, brand building opportunities, although Shedeur Sanders might teach that class. But they go out there and they learn about all the extra things that come along with being an NFL player. So they'll do that. Also this week, the schedule release on the 14th. It'll start leaking today, though, folks. So don't be surprised. There'll be some tomorrow, too. And then Wednesday we'll get the full schedule. So that's where all that, that's where the week is going now, that the mini camp is over. So what did we learn? All right, here is what we learned after 3 days of Browns rookie mini camp. You ready? Absolutely nothing. It tells us nothing, folks. I mean, they're out there, they're working out. Day 1, they learned some things, they work on techniques. Day 2, they learned some things, they work on techniques. They probably took something from the classroom and executed it on the field. And then day 3 is when they really try to put it all together. It's really just to give the rookies a sense of what life in the NFL is like. It's now their job. And so it's a combination of classroom along with drill work, along with weight room, and then of course everything that you do on the field in practice. And so it's taking that long season and kind of giving them a taste over the course of 3 days. So it tells us absolutely nothing. Maybe confirm some things that we already know, like Harold Fannin Jr. is going to be fun to watch this season. But really, it doesn't really tell us anything. But the next thing we need to talk about, the rookie quarterback battle. And of course, I thought the Browns X account, their social media team did a nice job of staying balanced with the videos they put out. It's really like political ads, or car commercials, because if you put a video of one, you got to put a video of the other. So if you see a Dylan Gabriel video go up, you know a Shedeur Sanders video is coming shortly. And that's what they were very good about that. Although I will say the one video, it was Trey Dean knocking down a Dylan Gabriel pass. And I thought, whoa, how did they let that one get through? But nonetheless, it was very fair and balanced, the presentation of our rookie quarterbacks over the rookie minicamp. And so that juggling act is over, at least for a short time, for the Browns social media team. Now, the big question: who is the clubhouse leader after the rookie minicamp? Who could it be? In my mind, the leader after the rookie camp is nobody. Here's the deal, folks. They're two rookies. They've been in the NFL for 3 days. Like I said, they're just learning at this point. They're just trying to get the playbook together, trying and memorize as much as they can. And Flacco and Pickett will be in the building this week. And it is really their job to lose that starting position. And then Dylan and Shedeur are, of course, battling out for the backup. But I think they will climb up the ladder a little sooner rather than later, depending on what happens with trades and things like that. But, folks, it was just a fun weekend to watch, to see these guys, football being back in Cleveland. That's really what we need to celebrate here, is the fact that football is back in Berea. We have the guys out there on the field, and it'll just keep ramping up. And as I mentioned that, so what comes next for the rookies? This rookie quarterback battle will ramp up once again May 22nd. That'll be the next time OTAs start. We'll have OTAs the 22nd, the 29th, June 5th. That's when all the vets will be there. They all need to be there. Through June 13th is when the mandatory veteran minicamp will be running, from June 11th through the 13th. And so the Browns have not announced the start of training camp yet. But one thing we do know, Andrew Berry said at the Combine that the team will host the Minnesota Vikings for some combined practices. And in my opinion, that is where, like, even the preseason games don't tell you anything anymore. It's vanilla defense. It's, it's like DTR look good in the preseason games. It's these, and we don't really get a chance. I mean, we'll get a glimpse of them, but these combined practices that they do with teams now, that is where you figure things out. I mean, they go at it, and that's why you see all the fights breaking out. But it'll be the Minnesota Vikings meeting with the Browns. They are going back to Greenbrier. They like to get out of Berea and then go into seclusion at Greenbrier to try and get everybody to focus and get things done. But that's what's coming up next. So that's when the rookie quarterback battle, but also now we'll add the veterans to the battle as well once the OTAs begin here on May 22nd. Now, the other thing that I've been thinking about is, how can the Browns exceed expectations this year? What could be the factor? What would get them back to if they turn this whole thing around? I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to show you. Here we go. There it is, folks. Our running game. And these two, if you've seen the videos over the weekend, it is insane. Quinshon Judkins and my man Dylan. These two guys are the real deal. And let me give you this stat that I found courtesy of Athlon Sports. They did a great article on the Browns running game. The Browns only averaged 95 yards a game last year. Ugh, that is rough. And but listen to this. Judkins forced 179 missed tackles in college from 2022 to 2024. So 3 years. And he's not playing against slouch. He was SEC and Big Ten. So, I mean, he's not playing against slouch running backs. And then Dylan Sampson, how about this? He's going to be the big play threat, guys. He's going to be the one. His 40-yard dash, 4.42 at the Combine. So we talked, and he talked about it. He likes doing, he says he's very patient. He'll take those 4 or 5 yarders and then look for the home run, wear teams down. But folks, this will be the difference maker along with the defense. If the defense is playing the way we think they can play, especially with the additions that they have, and they get this running game going, we should be in a lot of games, folks. And we could really turn this around rather quickly because a lot of that pressure will be off of the quarterback, whoever it is, to start the season, especially whether it's Flacco or Pickett. Although who knows? Who knows who it'll be at this point? But the bottom line is, if that running game is going and the defense is playing, a lot of pressure comes off the quarterback, and I do think we could win a lot of games. Even though they told us our schedule's the second toughest in the league, I do think we can win a lot of games. Okay, let's get to the viewer comments, and boy, oh boy, we have a lot to offer. They just never, ever disappoint. And here is Alan Hudson, 4975. The Browns need to recognize this phenomenon and do the right thing by Shedeur, or they will immediately see all of his newfound interest evaporate. All of this newfound interest evaporate. I actually hope they stumble and the New Orleans Saints wake up and bring them on board. New Orleans would immediately be the hot spot for Shedeur. And here it is. No, they're not. They drafted Tyler Shook in the second round. They are not going to trade for whether it's Gabriel or Sanders. They are not trading for another rookie. They have Spencer Rattler, who's only been there for 5 minutes, and they, like I said, they know what they have in him and Haney. Like they're not trading for a rookie. Your best bet is, and I would prefer to see Flacco stay now and just lead by example for Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I think because they're going to want a younger vet, they're not going to want, or maybe they will. Maybe they would want Flacco to try and. But I want Flacco teaching our guys. I don't want Flacco teaching Tyler Shook how to win games in the NFL. Keep him here. Send him Kenny Pickett. Let's fleece him for what? Let's fleece him like we fleeced Jacksonville and go on from there. But people, Shedeur Sanders is not going to be traded to the New Orleans Saints. It's never going to happen. Bonnie 777 says legendary is his name and winning football is his game. Not only does it rhyme, but I love the take. So hey, a lot of excitement in the quarterback room for once in Cleveland in a long time. Pop out, rock out. I like that. That's a great handle. Pop out, rock out. That should be like a game. I'm enjoying both guys. Can't lose either. I agree. We got to keep. I've been saying for years. I've been telling my buddy for years. We need to be drafting 2 quarterbacks every single year until we get this right. So we finally did it. I'm not giving anybody away. I'm keeping them both. So I 100% agree. Pop out, rock out. I hope that doesn't mean something that I don't think. Well, anyway. The controversy 7914. You already know where this is going. LOL. Nobody, and I mean absolutely no one, cares about anything the Browns were doing this year until Shedeur showed up. Okay, how they did him was wrong, but Deion raised them well, and that personality is going to shine through no matter what. And I 100% agree with that second part. I mean, I love Deion. I praise Deion almost every show, and I knew his family, his professional, everything that he does, man. I love Deion, and so. But here's where the controversy and we disagree. To say that no one cares about anything about the Browns is not true, and I see this a lot in the comments. Guys, you got to understand, the Brownie. This is a Browns town, man. And you saw what we did when they took the Browns away from us. I mean, we went down there and tore the place up. And then just take a look. There are Browns backers everywhere. I don't mean around the country. I mean around the world. We see the Browns backers when we go on our trips every year. I'm telling you, folks, this is a rabid fan base. And so the whole nobody cared about the Browns until Shedeur showed up. I mean, I'll tell you that the interest is at a very heightened level. This is similar to what we went through with Manziel, but this is way better. But no, man, the Brownies, we represent wherever we go around the world, and so anyway. But I do 100% agree with you and your take on Dion. And then hey, from Mobile, Alabama, Arthur Dawkins Jr. says there are signs of the new happenings right before our eyes, and let's hope the Browns notice the good situation they are in. And that's where I want us all to be. Let's just celebrate this win. It's so great to have this going on in Cleveland, to have Shedeur Sanders and have Dylan Gabriel and the draft picks. They're great people to start. So I appreciate that. The Browns are fun again, and that's where we need to leave it. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like, subscribe, get those comments in the comment section. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything you've done for our little show so far. All right, go Browns. We'll see you next time.